Hey all, welcome back to Create a Vector Hair on Tuts Plus. My name is Sharon Millen, and in this lesson I'm going to show you how to change our forest goddess into her polar opposite, a fire red hair demon. So it's a bit more dramatic variation in this lesson, so let's get started. While all other projects have their variations in the same source file, due to the amount of detailing and strokes involved in this project, I've duplicated the file to create our demon in another source file. So if you're wanting to view this lesson, please check out the file hairproject5a.ai. Let's start with the most drastic step, and that's recolouring the hair. Now I'm going a different route to what I've previously done in variation lessons. Instead of using a duplicate of the hair base and then using blending modes and a new fill colour, which works best when you're using one hue of hair, I'm going to use recolour artwork. This is because I've got greens and yellows in the hair. So I first go through the layers and unlock all of the hair. I then select all. As I want to see the colour changes live when I use recolour artwork, I'm going to go to View Hide Edges. What this does is while you've selected the hair, it's not going to show you your paths and points. It's not going to hide your view of the hair. Then go to the top of the UI and select Recolour Artwork, which is represented by an icon with what looks like a colour wheel. I click on Edit so I can edit the colours individually on the colour wheel. Click Link Harmony Colours so you can keep the colours fixed in how spread out they are. I've then moved the points around for a more red hue, and I want to unlink Harmony Colours so I can play around with the colours individually. What I want is a bright red with the soft yellow highlight on the shines. This is so I can create a soft yet colourful fire selection of colours to the hair. It can take a bit of fiddling with the colour settings, but it's worth it in the end to get the right effect you're wanting. Using recolour artwork is great if you're wanting to create a unique set of harmonising colours for your design. I go back and lock the layers with the hair in so it's preventing me from altering it. Now let's unlock the antlers and turn these into horns. Like I did with modifying the clipping mask to show the antlers growing out the hair, I'm going to modify the clipping masks so they're limited to the horn shape. So I'm going to draw the horn shape I want and duplicate it for the other side and make it a compound path. I then use this compound path to create a clipping mask for the antlers, therefore turning them into horns made from hair. I make the flyaway hairs visible, and then using the lasso tool, I draw around the non-horn area and delete these excess hairs. I go back into the clipping mask to make sure none of the layers or shapes are locked in place, as I've got a habit of automatically doing this, and then I use the free transform tool to rotate the horns slightly so they more resemble devil horns. With the hairs of the horns selected, I use recolour artwork to give them a more burnt silver look rather than a warm golden brown. I then add some additional hairs around the base of the horns so it looks a bit more natural. Well, as haired horns can really naturally be. I'm going to complete the look by now modifying the portrait makeup. First I use recolour artwork on the eyebrows to give them more of a red hue. I'm going to add gradients around the eyes to give a red eyeshadow effect. And a final tweak of the horns. They don't look right. I'm going to enlarge them. So I select the horns and go to Object Transform Scale. I increase the size of the horns by 125% and then move them into place. Then I go into the clipping masks and add gradients to the bottom of the horns to create a shadow where the hair is overlapping the base. Our fiery red-haired demon is now complete. So just by tweaking the horns and the colour of the hair, you've created a different look from the original Forest Goddess style. Now I know these projects are speeded up, but as a comparison, if you compare over 2 hours to create the original Forest Goddess and just 20 minutes for me to modify it to this demon, not bad. In our next chapter, I'm going to go over what this course has taught you and where to go next. Thanks for listening.